Yeah, he's been great for 7.3.
All right, I think I'm live now as well. Should be working. So let's see. I think I've got a path left in the previous quest as well, so I'll probably just chuck that in now. I remember when I was doing that stream, I got towards the end of it and saw this path and was just like, if I'm going to try and squeeze this in the tight time I've got now, it's just going to go even worse. I think there was just a Chavez I saw on it and I was like, yeah, I don't fully know how she works.
Nice. Yeah, I see your stream is up.
Cool.
Really cool.
Hey TJ and Dex, welcome
already.
guys. What were you saying?
I'd say we got some boys in the chat already, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
So I think I'll start by just getting this off now and then go into the next quest. I'm trying to remember this one. Knock them down, but then whenever you parry, cool. Power snack as well.
Oh yeah, but then you can throw the specials to drain their power.
Yeah, and you can knock them down using those as well, so you don't have to rely on just parrying and losing charges that way, I think.
Trying to think if I used Spidey 2099 for this. I think I did for the Chavez.
Unfortunately, I've not got lucky with him yet, so
yeah.
I can imagine there were some paths that he was just really fun because obviously he was quite new and 7.3 was. I think he came after 7.3 dropped, isn't it?
I believe so, or at least the featured came out.
So it just became like a really fun playground for people who wanted to run loose with him.
Yeah, he's great. I love that he didn't really make a big splash when he first came out, too.
And then Strands got the ball rolling on that one.
Yeah, he was sort of the first guy. Like all the 4 Loki YouTubers sort of ranked him based off of his footage, I think.
TJ, that's Campo uncle. We are blessed with his voice today.
Hey TJ, what's up, man? Yeah, so I saw you talking about that stagger problem, and I'm trying to figure out what was going on there with the Nihilus and the side quest. So we'll have to get to the bottom of that.
Just trying to think if I need any more counters for this path. Probably not. Might just I'll bring Warlock for the Mr. Sinister maybe. But then actually I'll probably torch that.
Is your Void available? He might be good.
Yeah, just bait
Power
heavies
snack.
and then start knocking them down with specials. Let's chuck him in, why not? And then maybe just keep Nick ready. Well, actually, I think I'm probably going to go Moleman. I used Nick last time for the ihulk, so I kind of want to use Moleman for something different this time. Even though the easiest boss would probably just be Torch with against. Oh, actually, I can't do Torch this time because I'm going to need the pre-fight for Purg.
That's true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that boss ihulk with Moleman will be super easy.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I played it with Nick as well was just really poor, and it still just went down so easy.
Oh yeah, I think that was the day I was at the gym and I had it on the background and I'm like, oh, he's still going, but then he eventually got down.
Yeah.
I remember that.
All right, I don't think I need anything else, so I will go with this.
Yeah, Strife might be a little annoying, but are you gonna? Well, you'll charge Apocalypse on the first fight.
I was thinking Torch for Strife.
Oh, okay.
Because then I can not worry about any miss as well if I've got temperature up, and then by then as well, Torch, he'll have had the Diablo fight as well to get going. So as long as I keep the paradoxes up.
Yeah.
The good thing as well is so far I've not really touched any of these unit paths like across all the quests. So if I do get 7.3 done by Cyber Weekend, which is what I'd probably hope to do, because then I can see if I'm actually like realistically close to a rank 4 before touching any deals. But
Okay,
these units are going to help as well. So
nice. Yeah, as a person who doesn't have a 6-star torch, I kind of have a blind spot for him. So you're like, oh yeah, a miscounter.
didn't you
Use
get him
this.
recently?
No, I have not pulled him. I
Oh
got
damn.
Namor dupe. That was my most recent like old champion that really changed my account.
Yeah. I think because I
He
remember
actually came from.
when this new feature
Oh, sorry.
dropped, like quite a few people were getting their first torches or like their first torch dupes. I was seeing it like everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people who already have him are getting him and aren't happy about it, and then there's a lot of people like me that still haven't gotten him yet.
Mm.
I
So
got Spidey, and other than
yeah,
that, it's been a pretty rough featured.
are you gonna keep going for it then? Because what torch, Herc, maybe even Penny.
Yeah, yeah, I really should keep going for it. There's not much for me left in the basic. That's one of the reasons I grinded for Archangel was because he was sort of one of my last most wanted champs,
Hmm.
and so I just took that into my own hands, got him, and now I'm pretty comfy going for the featured.
I may have forgotten about Power Snack already. Oh, this is probably going to be a restart at this rate.
Oh yeah, I'm just catching up to the video here.
Because I went in and immediately realized I was like, we can't heavy to knock him down
Right.
because we're going to bleed him.
Yeah. Well,
Just
once
think,
you get enough paradox up, you can just throw your specials and it'll power drain them almost back to 0.
yeah, it's just building those
But
paradoxes is going to be a bit tricky
yeah,
here.
it takes a minute.
And if he's not throwing those special ones freely, then like there,
Yeah. Oof.
we'll give it a
It's all
couple
right.
of.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's first fight, it's right. And then Apoc is ramped, so
Yeah.
what I've realized as well is while I don't have any paradox, I can just parry and not worry about losing
That's
any
true.
until I get to my first special. Damn man, this guy doesn't want to throw special ones at all.
Of course. It's kind of just like the AQ boss with Conflictor. He gets really stingy.
This might take a few restarts to get the perfect run.
Totally fair. I did a lot of restarts.
What else does he have on him? Could even start with Doom and just let him get the special 3, but then what's the best one for Apoc to ramp on? Hated this path, TJ. Yeah, this was when I originally did my 7.3.2 stream. I left this path out because I could just tell it was like it was right at the end of the stream, and I was like, I'm just gonna get frustrated on it. I was thinking my problem was gonna be America Chavez, but the first fight alone, I think I remember watching KT's stream, and he restarted a lot of times to this first fight. Alright, we have one paradox. And he's being relatively kind with his special one. Spoke too soon.
My videos just caught up so that you're at 3 paradox. So that's how do you cancel them? Is it parry?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and get to like 4 or 5 really, as many as
Yeah.
possible,
Yeah. And then yeah.
and then just like because I the thing is in this particular one as well, even if I do like parry knockdown, then I'm gonna bleed him, so I can't really. I'm gonna just try and play this mostly
Mm,
stun immune,
yeah.
and then after that Apox ramped, so it should be fine.
Yeah. That's good.
I just need to remember as well to keep ending with lights before throwing the special one, because otherwise it's going to put a poison and just. I
Yeah.
suppose it doesn't really matter because
No waste.
either one's not going to do a lot of damage or anything. But it's just nicer to have the weakness on him, I guess. This might be the slowest APOC versus mutant battle I can remember. This would
Yeah,
be
this node just really is frustrating.
yeah, I was gonna say it'd be a really bad time for Slay to pop in stream.
He did this exact match last night, but it was opposite ends of
Oh yeah, in the side
arena.
quest, isn't it?
OR versus APOC.
It should drain
I
him.
tried to get the Tiger solo on the APOC, but I messed up for the side quest.
Oh
I that used to be like really automatic for me, but I haven't brought her into war in a really long time.
yeah, bit rusty. She's one of those ones where you have to like really have the spacing down. So I feel like the longer you go without using her, the more you're just going to be a bit rusty when you do start again.
Yeah, totally. I got the Gauntlet solo though. I remember I brought Tiger for that. That was a good time.
I just realized as well, because I'm facing a mutant, it didn't even matter what combo I end with.
Oh, right. Good call.
Because I just realized I threw some mediums and was still getting the weakness on him, and I was like, oh,
The
right,
weakness, yeah.
of course.
Nice. Have we ever sent you with APOC in war? I don't think we've ever
I don't
given you
suppose you will
APOC.
after watching this.
No, no, no. That wasn't my point. I was like, oh yeah, you have an APOC too.
Yeah, you have actually. I think last
Oh,
season I
okay.
got one war with him, which felt pretty good because I slapped on some mutant boosts and there was this hit monkey on, the aggression prowess, power focus 2 one on path 6B.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, that was one I was a little worried going into because I was like, I can see that how that one goes really wrong, but I was just surprised. Honestly, that was like my first time using APOC with mutant boosts in war, and he just
Yeah.
yeah. I threw a special 2 and then was back up at a special 3, and I was like, so this is what it feels like.
Yeah, he's a beast. That's awesome, man.
I think is he a contender for your first rank 4, if I remember correct?
Yeah, it's really going to be him or Doom. And the only reason it might be Doom is because Toffrey is sort of the default APOC guy. So if he goes APOC, then I
Yeah.
might do Doom. So we just have another option. Because I get assigned APOC every once in a while, but it usually doesn't make sense. I've only been assigned Archangel once, and it was that time I almost screwed up on the Mordo on 23 the first time.
Oh, the first.
Not to
Yeah, I was
mention
gonna
the
say,
second.
wait, wasn't
Yeah,
that Moleman?
yeah. I have
There's
a
been
bad track
multiple of
record.
those.
Yeah, 0 deaths, but
Oh yeah, that's
really
the
ugly
important bit.
fights. Yeah. I haven't ended up using the Archangel that much. This fight's a little less dangerous just because both of his specials are able to be dexed and everything, and they don't really do anything annoying.
Yeah. No pressure. I face him a lot in AQ as well. There are several times where I'm just because I do AQ tier 1 like when I'm tired, and it's vivified, so he's getting specials like all the time. There's been so many times where I've just ran like straight into that tornado he throws on the special too. I'm just like, oh yeah,
Nice.
he's done. Let me run in and punish. And then turns out he's not done.
Right. Yeah, Dexter. I use Doom a lot more in war in general. I think Doom is going to be the most popular rank 4 just across the entire battle realm. Most people are going to do him if they can.
Oh,
So I think it's just going to come down to what the battle group needs.
I've looked up a chat twice now, and both times I've accidentally parried and lost a paradox.
Oh no. Yeah, that happens.
Oh, there goes the third, and I've pushed him to a special 3.
Yeah, these nodes really just mess up with your like instincts basically.
I don't know if I can be asked to restart. I might just eat the revive. I've got revives and overflow at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any content coming out next month that'll need revives, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't finished V8 either. I don't know how far you are on that.
Oh, I did a first clear and that's it. I just can't be bothered with it.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, the rewards have been the same for a while, so they're nothing like enticing. And then even though they've fixed the bugs boss and they've nerfed what's his name, Venom Pool, still a lot of paths that just don't seem like they're going to be any fun.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And also I kind of want to hold those. There's 2 tier 5 basic in the completion or in the
Yeah,
exploration rewards. I kind of want to like save those for a rainy day. So,
exactly.
you
That's the
know,
same way I think about it now. I think it was Brian Grant who did a video a long time ago saying like the way he's just going to save pieces of content like that and not rush them just so he can keep the resources for when he needs them. And I think with
yeah,
Cyber Weekend now especially, like it just there's not going to be as much of a need.
that's true. Yeah, but there, no matter what deals you get, I think there's going to be tier 5B in them.
Oh, that's unblockable. My bad.
Hopefully, there's some tier 4 class catalyst selectors. I could use some of those. Those are
Yeah,
annoying to get.
I've noticed as well. I hate how like when I've got resources in overflow in like when I'm doing content like this, like revives, I just play a lot worse because I'm like, oh, it's fine. I need to use them anyway.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I'll like reset a path too, and then it goes even worse the second time. So sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta power through. Fine. And this is one of the more annoying paths, as you already said. So,
Mm.
you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, good call, Dexter. Yeah, with I think the way I look at your first rank 4 is they almost have to be a SIG 200 champ so that even if they're not like Doom level of prestige, they'll still make a big impact. And I think ideally you want someone in like the top 25 or so prestige. So APOC, I think is, do you recall he's like top 15 or something?
Yeah, he's
Uh,
pretty high. I think at rank 4 as well, he's even slightly higher than he was before for mutants.
yeah, so he's good enough. And I mean, at that point, having any rank 4 that's a Sig 200 who's at toward the top is good. And Doom is definitely going to go up at some point. I mean, there's no question he will be in the top, my like first 5 rank 4s whenever that happens in the next year plus. But it doesn't super matter to have your best prestige as your first rank 4, because they'll still, if you don't rank them, they'll still be a rank 3 contributing to your prestige, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's more important to plan out like who are going to be my top 5 eventually.
But I think as well, like along those lines, it just makes sense as well to just see what everyone else has got, because then you can try and get a bit of a variety as well. Like I've just started thinking as well today, like obviously Doom's a really popular one, and because I've got 3 Mystic T5cc without really wanting to rank 3 any, it makes sense. But say I dupe Shang, for example, on Cyber Weekend, I've got so many skill sigs just sitting there that I could then go, well, hey, do we need a rank 4 Shang for RBG? Because I'm not sure how many others would. And then there you go away from the more obvious choice, but it's one that will still work out well overall. I think Shang has
Totally, yeah.
decent prestige as well.
Yes, yeah, he's up there for skill. I know Vega did it that way, so I mean, poor Loki was
Yeah.
cool with it. Yeah, you get to a certain point where once you get, I think we were talking about this in chat the other day, like once you get below Phoenix for prestige, then the next like 20 or so are very, very close. So even though, someone might be a little bit down, we're only talking about like a 20, 40 point swing. So, I mean, there's obviously like the studs at the top. But then if you're going to go for like an apocalypse level type character, there's a lot that are sort of in the same ballpark. Yeah, I'm curious to see where the rank 4 materials are going to be in the offers and how much you can get.
I genuinely think still they're
And
probably
then where the
only
STIGs are.
only going to be in the Odins, and then the bigger unit deals.
That makes sense, yeah.
Oh, it feels
And
like
then
my
they'll
game
probably
is
put the
about to
SIGs in
crash.
like the $30. Dexter, I don't have a Shang-Chi, but Nas definitely does. But I think what people have said about him is that he doesn't really have a set rotation. It's just sort of getting familiarity of which combos activate which Wushu strike, and then depending on the match, kind of coming up with a game plan of like, I want the slow first, or I want the cleanse first, or this or that. And then you kind of just get comfortable with him so that you can use the utility that you need per fight. That's kind of what I've heard about him, at least.
Yeah, and without being like a Shang-Chi pro myself yet, I would say like one thing I see is like a common mistake is people think they need to use like all the Wushus, like in a fight or as many as possible. But like his damage ramps up so well that you don't need to. You should just prioritize the ones you need and in what order you need them, and have that idea going into a fight so it gets less dicey.
And then you can just reset at any point.
Yeah.
And what does his SIG do again? I don't recall.
His Sig, it allows him to crit through block. So I think current like without it, he can still do crits through block on like his specials or like his special 2, but with it he can crit through block on like any hit, and so it's a bit more damage. And then I think as well there's like some extra like passive damage, like burst damage or something with some of his hits. So it's just like nice to have stuff, but nothing you need. Just realized I've got enough of these that I can just parry in heavy.
Did you have 6-star torch for Abyss when you were going through it?
I think right towards like the last few paths. So yeah, I think maybe that I did the last two with him at ranked up.
Nice. Yeah, I had pretty much the all 5-star team.
Sweet. Oh wait, I heard that wrong. Not so sweet.
Yeah, not so sweet. Yeah. Well, I mean, back then that was pretty
It beats
common.
4 stars, eh?
Yeah.
I did hear of
I
people.
still don't have Nick Fury.
Oh, he's not as necessary though. So I guess there were parts where I just didn't bring him at all.
I do recall this fight being really fun in the Abyss, though, the Mr. Sinister one with Torch.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think what would some. I liked the Red Skull. Honestly, he was one of the worst ones I heard about going in as being annoying, but I really enjoyed that with Doom. I think
Yeah.
my best run was 2 revives, and my Doom I think
Wow.
was rank 2 at the time as well. And
That's
somehow with my
awesome.
rank 3, it took me like 1 or 2 more because I just didn't get quite as lucky with the AI, I guess.
Nice. I did the Badge of Courage run, which is the Ronin 4-star on one of mine.
Oh,
It took 3,600 hits.
wow, I couldn't do it.
It was just the way the pathing worked. I could fit him, and I kind of just wanted to get the screenshot.
Did you follow like the like kind of pretty common guides, or did you adapt and make your own ones a little bit with the paths based on what you had?
Yeah, I kind of did that. But for the most part, it was like Aegon, Doom, Torch. I mean, it was pretty much that. I think I brought Void for one path, and I brought Stealthy for one path, and then I had Heimdall. I brought Warlock for Havoc. So yeah, it was pretty much like when Legacy made the first guide. I mostly stuck to his suggestions because like I think I finished it before Mags even got buffed. So like he wasn't an option.
Oh no, my game crashed. What a shame. Yeah, I think I actually used Aegon for Havoc. I was fortunate enough that it was I was literally in the middle of that path when suddenly there was like people were sending around the forum post for like the upcoming month's patch saying, "Oh, that fight's being reworked because apparently Aegon and
Yeah,
others were
there's a
shrugging
bug.
off." So I was like, "Oh damn, is that going to affect me mid path or what?" But yeah, luckily I got through the path before it became an issue.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that at the time. It would have definitely saved a slot. But Warlock was actually pretty fun. It was just sort of like reparry forever and just heavy only. I think it only took one revive with a 565, just because it's not a lot of hits when you play it that way.
Hmm. I've got to be careful not to get too many charges now. Oh,
Wonder if when they designed her, if they knew how annoying she would be on defense because in the
Oh, they did.
spotlight they didn't really highlight that.
I interrupted her heavy, and I assume that's really, really bad there because I can see the reflection thing. Do I just wait it out now? Or...
Yeah, if you get the second thing, that's bad.
I interrupted one of her heavies just out of a force of habit, just on autopilot there.
Yeah. The first one is um, buff potency, and then the second one is power gain effects being less important. So the middle one is the one you want to avoid. And I think stacking any one of them is bad
Yeah.
because then she just gets a lot of power gain when she throws a special one. I found out the hard way. My only time dying with Ghost last season was against her, and she threw a heavy like right out of the gate, just out of nowhere. And I was like, "Thank you." And I got the power gain one, so then
Yeah.
basically my power gain boosts and my sig ability was completely destroyed because that's counted as ability power gain. So I'm like, "Great, thanks."
Epoch should be fine for Strife. I'll have to play around the miss, but I'm guessing it's just better than constantly healing Torch up at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't.
If he's got a few paradox already, you should be fine.
Yeah. The paradox does bother me as a thing, and it's back in 7.4. I think one of the most annoying things is just that it doesn't even tell you before you go into a fight like how many you've got. It tells
I agree.
It tells you you've got it on you, but like not how many you've managed to ramp up from the last fight. So you've just got to remember yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one time there was a paradox where if you parry, you get another one, and like I had 8, and then I just started the fight and parried, and it was like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. Pretty nice with suicides. Yeah, Dex. Shang-Chi can work fairly well with suicides because you can, like you mentioned, shrug off the debuffs with the cleanse. And what was the other bit? You can also start by like focusing on special threes to just really ramp up your charges and therefore not take recoil. Then, when you're ready for that one big special too. So he'll get around a lot of the annoyances of the suicides. I had a feeling that was going to happen. I knew as soon as I threw the special too, that concussion would stop him from being power drained. I shouldn't have thrown it.
Oh, right. Ability accuracy. So much fun.
Yeah. If only there was a handy Falcon video out there that warned me about this.
I wouldn't have made the video if it wasn't just because I was so frustrated by it so many times.
I know. And speaking of videos, love the map hate video you've dropped on us.
Oh, thanks, man.
And yet to get all the way through it. I think I briefly started it and then had to go do something else. So I'm going to watch it today. But yeah, it was almost as exciting as the No Way Home trailer coming out.
Yeah, there's no hidden Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in my video, but
no details to watch out for in yours.
Yeah, I just kind of got started a little early planning. Well, I guess if you can count this as early, I mean, it's dropping this week.
I mean, yeah. Considering people wouldn't really have had the time before.
Yeah, it's hard in the middle of a war season.
Yeah. And then
I
still
think it is
playing
going to
map
take
7
some people
AQ.
by surprise.
I think I was a bit surprised that map 7 was on this last week, because I'm pretty sure that, there was some rumors that they would, what's it called? For the week before starting map 8, just not run any map 7.
Yeah. Now, I think the other weird thing is I think it said Friday is when it hits, which is like tomorrow, and that would be early. So I'm curious if it's supposed to hit tomorrow or
Or when it's
Saturday.
a day after.
Yeah.
We'll find out when it suddenly
I
arrives.
really hope it's not tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a preliminary plan for us, but there's definitely going to be a couple fights that are a little sketchy.
And there's definitely going to be
And
some.
it's tough because like there's some fights that are like, oh, Human Torch would be perfect for this, but like I can't necessarily commit somebody's torch without knowing the war plan for that day.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just a little weird. I think, who did I have? Let me look at what I wrote. I don't think I screwed you over too bad. Oh yeah, I think I'm putting you on a path that requires a mystic, and then what you'll do is bring Claire or Doom, depending on what the war plan is, because they'll both work, and then because I don't think you'll ever have to bring both of them to war.
I did once, actually. That was hilarious.
Oh, okay.
But that was off season.
That happens. Yeah. Well, you can bring the 5-star then. Yeah. Let's see. Where is it? It's a path that it's the one where they get a stun immunity buff after they throw a special. And then they're immune to nullify and stagger because of the divine barrier. But then if your nullify fails, there's a cross fight that gives you a benefit, basically. So it's like, it's kind of annoying. It's like you have to fight them with a mystic and then have your nullifies fail so that you get more damage.
Right.
So, yeah. Sounds like a great time.
I was like, when is he going to look up and see me getting battered?
Oh, no.
No. Oh, nearly got it back under control there.
Yeah, there's a little delay in the video, so I think I'm just catching up to that.
I should probably go pop some free crystals open. I think I've got like over 200. I've just not been touching any content for a while. Oh, Slayer's here. Slayer, you missed a great Omega Red fight. Nice easy finish with Torch. Yeah, that lane was annoying. I think the most annoying thing was literally just ramping people up. Getting those charges and then trying not to parry.
And I mean, Omega Red is the first champ on the lane where you don't want to push him to special 2 and he has power snack and you have to throw your own specials is like pretty annoying.
I knew
No, he didn't use Omega.
I knew he'd fall for that.
To kill Omega.
I deliberately said as you missed an Omega fight, so see if I could bait him in.
It was the same fight that you did in the side quest last night, only opposite sides of the arena. APOC was on the left.
Didn't really matter there who was going out in terms of neither of them getting used. Oh wait, they'll probably catch up for you, but I just realised I'll take out APOC instead of Torch because then at least I still get the extra 6% attack from the Doom Torch synergy.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Funny how little things like that make very, very little difference, but I still sit there thinking about them. APOC is a meme tier defender. I'll read the rest of that in a minute. Meme tier defender, Omega OP. I should be careful reading Sly's messages out loud, actually. They might get taken out of context. That's a warning to you, Campo, on your streams as well.
Yeah. Too bad you don't have the real greatest counter to this fight ranked up.
Who's that?
Elsa, of course.
Did you actually take this with Elsa?
Elsa Bloodstone. I think I did, yeah.
I remember you taking down, which one was it? The spiderham in the next quest?
Yeah, that was
pretty cool.
Fun.
Oh, Moleman, why can't you reach with your heavy? I always forget sometimes. Like it's just,
thing, yeah.
Especially because his heavies are just so useful to be able to throw. It's just really annoying that the reach is tiny.
Yeah, Slay's gonna rank 4 Omega so that we can have him place him with suicides on defense.
Yeah. Get him to rank up his Elsa as well for defense then.
Yeah.
Suicide team.
He'll have the recoil team.
We'll get him to place a Corvus with suicides, ihulk with suicides on defense. Those all sound like great defenders.
Definitely, yeah. ihulk.
I can already tell what he's going to comment in terms of defenders. I tried it again. I wanted to see if I could get the heavy there. I knew if I missed I'd be dead, but it was worth
so
trying.
Annoying. Yeah, I mean, I totally acknowledge Moleman's power, but I joke about it, but I really don't play well with him. I think it's his move set, like his dash back and his heavy just really annoy me. So even though like I oversell Elsa sometimes, I just play better with her because she's just a lot smoother in my hands for some reason. I mean, that really funny Mordo fight was 100% my fault, but also I think some of it was just not being comfortable with Moleman.
Yeah, I think the annoying the worst thing that catches me out with him is like in this fight here, his heavies just seem so close to reaching that you're like, if I just adjust my distance slightly, I might get it, and then you just always just miss. So he gives you hope every time that you can maybe get the distance right, but it's probably safer to just not bother. Mega's easy on defense. Not yet. Yeah, Dex, not yet. You've heard it. Officer Campo right there has made it quite clear that Slice and Mega's going on defense.
That would probably not be good for the battle group, considering he's the only Omega. I think Strands has an Omega, but we've literally never sent him with him.
Yeah. I think there's just so many mutants that unless you're like an Omega lover, to give him all those SIGs, especially as well, like when you think of Prestige and two big Prestige options in like Sunspot and Namor being there, even though Sunspot will drop off after rank 3, but for now, he's an option. Then there's APOC as well, who's not bad for Prestige if people want to rank him up. So yeah, there's quite a few people who just, unless you're really going to make use of Omega.
Yeah. And of course, Colossus too. Great SIG 200 champ.
Who is it who keeps asking? I think it's Jacob, isn't it, who wants to see Colossus in your next champ brew. Whoa, what was that?
Yeah.
2 revives in 10 free crystals, 40% ones as well, and 4 tier 4 potions. Since when? So that caught me off guard. Not bad.
So you've done basically like one path in the remaining quests.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So only like one Kang down.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I've literally told myself, I'm like, I don't know if I'll even stream that quest when I get to it. I'll have to see.
Yeah, I wasn't brave enough to stream it. I only did some of the fun paths.
Yeah. I was thinking like when I get to that
ELL
quest,
did it. He had some really good runs.
yeah. I know I would just get lost like in my thought. I'd be thinking and then I'd be reading chat and then I would probably spend like half an hour just to read one like paths nodes.
Yeah.
So I think this one triple threat, this path was like maybe ghost cheesable, but then there's this use it or lose it, and it's like you have what 8 seconds or you get drained. So I don't know, can Ghost get to her special 2 fast enough? I guess even without it, she's going to be doing so much damage, shrugging off debuffs. Oh
Yeah.
no, power shield.
Oh, this is okay. Yeah, I'm catching up. This one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ended up using Ghost here,
Yeah.
but
I suppose even the special ones are fine because I don't think the debuffs do a lot of damage. So you just throw the special one and quickly get your 3 hits in so you can phase again. If I can't reach the special 2, that is. So yeah, I think I'll just go with this path first.
is there any? It says power drain. Are there any champs that will matter with? Not really, right?
Not that I can think of. Although they've thrown some really like annoying ones to try and Ghost, so I can see they're doing absolutely everything here to stop Ghost being able to cheese through it. Did the whole path with APOC. Yeah, mutants are going to be pretty good here, isn't it? Every 5 hits on your combo meter, you purify all of them.
Oh yeah,
and you gain 10% of a bar of power. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna bring APOC then. I'll throw Ghost and Wasp.
Yeah, he's so good for power shield.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I had like the APOC cable AA team for this, and maybe Ghost came as well. I don't know. Oh right, Korg. Yeah, APOC would be good.
Probably bring the cable synergy as well, just have him ramped from the start. That 10-minute, that thing fight is a 10-minute fight with someone like Ghost or APOC. Yeah, power shield triggering protection, that's what I thought when I saw him. Who else would be able to get around him a bit quicker?
Actually, Do you have, is your cable ranked? Because you could maybe just degen him.
No, my cable I think is a rank 1 5-star, so
Ah,
no issue with
nice.
triggering protection there.
Hey, Matthew, thanks for the shout out for the map 8 video. I appreciate that, man.
Hey Matt, yeah, I'm not playing great today. The joys of streaming. Um,
Oh, yeah, Void as well, because he'll just keep damaging.
Void, yeah, I was just gonna think Void, and then I'm trying to look at the debuffs because Incinerate he won't, he'll be fine with. Cold Snap and Bleed. What was it? 50% of the attacker's damage over 20 seconds. Reduced
I
by
don't
5
recall them being too bad, and you don't have to hit them that much.
for all attackers. It gets reduced for every 10 hits. Okay, so if you get your combo up, it might go well. Alright, I can bring Void to just start that fight, and then if it goes south, I'll just have to go the slow, like, APOC route.
I think it's kind of like the energy adoption ones where like if you get a couple on you, it's not going to do too much damage, but then when they start stacking,
Yeah. So you just gotta, like, slow play it till you get your combo up, I guess, and then let the reduction do its work. Who else is there? There's a Korg. Could maybe bring Namor. Oh no, but he's only Sig 180, unless I bring the 5-star. And then Namor will play along with the node too. Might bring Professor X and see how he goes. Power Shield could be fun with him.
yeah.
I forget I even have Professor X for attack sometimes. Because for so many seasons, like here and even in my last alliance, he was just like a go-to defender for me.
Yeah, I used him. I think I've brought him to one war since I've joined SSX, and it was just for a Node 23 Korg, which like he's not even the like, he's far from the only counter to that, obviously, but like
Yeah.
he's pretty fun there. And we haven't really seen Node 23 Korg in 2 months or so.
Yeah, he went from
Kind
being
of an
like
outdated placement.
the most feared there to, yeah, there's just a few counters for him now.
Red Hulk's pretty good, man. I mean, it kind of depends if you're like what kind of war you're running, but like you definitely need a Red Hulk in every BG, and a rank 3 would be pretty useful. And the awakened ability helps a lot, I think.
I forgot about needing to throw your specials sooner as well.
With the offers coming out next week, I mean, I think just wait to kind of see like where you're going to end up account wise when that's all over, but it'd be a good usage.
Yeah, I think Red Hulk's a great champ. He's someone like I have him duped. I think Sig 40, so I debated him for a while. But like obviously in our battle group we've got a few, so it just didn't really make any sense. But definitely like he's a great war champ, and I don't know. He seems to be one of those ones where he's either just not thought of by people or really loved. He's kind of like hit and miss. There's not really much in between.
Yeah, there's no like secret formula to him. He's extremely simple but effective.
I just realized actually the power um, drain is going to be really annoying for Prof X.
True. Yeah, you might be able to line up like a couple specials in a row, but
I mean, the special ones already are hitting pretty hard, so
yeah.
hey Axe.
Oh, yeah, that's right, TJ. You're taking a little break. You're shipping off to basic kind of soon, aren't you, man? If I recall. I guess they put in America Chavez on this path too. I just
Yep.
saw that. Good for them.
Looks like she's becoming a bit like Terex, just, spammer everywhere.
There was that Terax in the Cavi queue that was kind of like a mini boss in one of the quests.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was like really annoying. He had Conflictor. I remember like having to reset a couple times because it was on the Cosmic quest too, so there weren't really great counters for him.
The worst thing is they just didn't link up to the quest like class either. They were just really random mini bosses everywhere. But so for us, not as big an issue. But imagining like a newer Cav player having to then plan an extra counter, it's just pretty annoying for them.
Yeah, definitely.
And here the fun begins. We got Chavez now. Just got to
Nice.
nail
That
my
was quick.
parries.
Yeah, seriously. Every time I fight her in war, she just like starts backing up. Like she does like 4 dashbacks at the start of the fight, and I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
And then I guess as soon as you go in, she just charges at you and you suddenly find yourself blocking and she's heavying.
Exactly. The hazard shift one I took went really well, but then I died to her on note 39. because she just threw a heavy like first thing out of the gate. I was like, thanks, man.
Always bait her special ones as well, isn't it?
Yeah, she won't go unblockable without dimensions, but I just don't want to deal with the special two.
And there's her first heavy. Thankfully, she's on 4%. That's really weird, though. The way she just throws her heavies out of nowhere, just in midair. Don't really see
It's
that.
definitely, it's got to be coded that way.
Yeah, because like I don't really see that much with other champs, but then she loves to do it. For now, I won't have time to play, but when I come back, aiming for Plat 1 mid-tier AQ. Yeah, TJ, so I guess like if you're not sure on him, you could just wait till you do come back and then see how used he still is then, and like what alliance you join, whether they need one. But you can't go wrong with a Red Hawk. He's a good champ and he'll get his use. Delete Chavez, she's worthless. At Slay, if you're still around. Trying to remember who is it who's a big fan. I think it's Vega, isn't it? Who's a big fan of Chavez, like from the comics, and was just really disappointed in
Yeah,
like her abilities at the
yeah.
moment.
He mentioned that she's on like a Marvel cartoon that he watches with his kids.
Oh, wasn't registering that was gonna be unblockable. Ready for map 8, folks. Not yet, Dex. I'm gonna watch Campo's video later, and then hopefully I'll be slightly closer, but probably still not.
I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to be more than just like the normal AQ as it is now, which is you can just like log in and not think about it. The first few weeks are probably going to have to be a little bit more like focused play, which makes me annoyed because like I don't want to have to be thinking about that and war in the same regard.
Yeah, timing wise, it's really annoying.
And the other annoying thing is that there are two final bosses. So, normally I'm not going to say like I can check out at the end of AQ, but like usually if I have a really busy day, like someone's going to get the boss and it's going to be fine. But with two, it's like we may need kind of like all hands on deck toward the end of AQ, which is really inconvenient.
I'm just hoping they haven't like jacked it up so much that it adds like a lot of time to how long it takes to get AQ down for a day. Like naturally the fights will be a bit harder, there'll be new stuff to look at, so take a bit longer, but if it's a significant amount, it's going to be really annoying.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned like what the health pools are going to be like, or like how bad making a mistake is if it's like one combo and you're just dead, or what, I mean, I'm assuming they're keeping 3-minute timers, so that hopefully the fights take about the same amount of time, but we don't really know. I'm sure that I'm going to make a plan and then day one someone's going to be like, this is not working, man. We have to adjust.
Can we change paths? That's going to be Slay.
Keep track of like everything. Yeah. I actually kind of screwed Ash a little bit, but he has a rank 3 Corvus, so I'm kind of like, I know that he can't time out, but I think Corvus is still going to be like a good BS counter. So hopefully he doesn't hate me. His first fight in section 1 is horrible. It's a war machine who has basically, like, when you take blocked hits, he regens a little bit.
Can see how that one will go along.
Yeah. And what else does it have? It's just, I was looking at it, I'm like, I think I just want to nuke it with Corvus. It has, yeah, they regen a little bit when they hit your block, and they have guaranteed crits through the block. But you can reduce this effect using the crossfight by, like, intercepting and dexing. So I think it's like you're going to have to dex a few times and land a couple intercepts so that you can take the blocked hits. So I'm still thinking Corvus will get him down in like 1 special 2 if he runs suicides, but I just don't like that node. And it also has Lionheart, so you can't just reverse the healing. And then there's Safeguard and Super Masochism. That sounds really fun. That's where they kind of combine Masochism with like Clapback node. So when they shrug the debuff, it gets put back on you.
Yeah, that was in
But
the...
APOC, I think APOC, right? Summoner Showdown, right?
Yeah. Forgot the name of the tournament there.
But APOC just turns that node off, I think, because his debuffs don't get purified.
I think, yeah, that's what Tarfrey was saying as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So the good thing about Lionheart is it doesn't interact with Despair. And I know that for a fact because I used to do a lot of like Path 1 stuff when they used to have Lionheart on that node. So Lionheart only triggers against Petrify or like Torch active debuffs.
Yeah, so like Torch Purifier doesn't trigger it.
Right. And Archangel doesn't. Archangel's poisons will trigger it. It's weird. Because poisons technically reduce healing, but Archangel's neurotoxin will not. Let's see, Slay. I think you're going to be back up in section 1. But I think you have an encroaching stun Sasquatch in section 2. So, yeah.
Watch DLL's war video if you want to see how to do that, Slay.
Yeah. So like my plan for you, Slay, is like if this is the path you go, that you can bring Torch on the days that we don't need Torch in Alliance War, because we do send you with Torch every once in a while, but not that often. And then if we do need you with Torch, maybe you can bring Mr. Negative. That was kind of my thought, because you need a science champion. And also, I was thinking Hercules, again, if not needed in Alliance War, for the encroaching stun would be good. So that was my thought. Hopefully it's not too painful. Yeah, I remember when the first time I saw iBomb on node 40, I brought Quake in for him, and he was regenning so hard because of the 300% regen from Lionheart, just off of like my normal debuffs. I timed out. That was a bad time.
Yeah. I remember that before they kind of changed the nodes up, there used to be like that I-bomb, isn't it? And he was probably the most annoying. He used to get placed a lot.
But then I think people started just using Archangel. I think Archangel, unless if you get terrible RNG, was able to just convert the poisons right away and then take care of it. But if that didn't go your way, you could get totally screwed. And then Slay, there's some common nodes in section 1 that have flux dispersal, and there was a Modoc as one of them. So I was also thinking maybe Herc could take that with the true, what is it? The thing that does auto block. I forget the name of all the true things. True sense, whatever the thing is that Herc has.
Yeah, I think it's true sense or true accuracy. Something. It's something true.
Yeah. Yeah. So my tentative plan is like you'll not join right away, but then you'll come in and help out with the Modoc, who's a common fight, and then Tafre will take Nimrod with Medusa, and then your path 2, section 2 path is like an encroaching stun where it wants you to bring science champs, but I think Herc will easily take it. It's just you have the node where you have like 50% reduced damage, but like Hercules on encroaching stun with 50% reduced damage is still going to be fine, I think. So I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I have a really nasty path in section 3. Who's on it? Where is it? It's use it or lose it, aspect of death, and footloose. And there's like a Medusa and an overseer and a spiderham on the path. So that's gonna be fun. But the node helps you counter the unstoppable. So I was thinking if I bring Moleman to cover the auto block and the evade, and then the crossfight gives you unstoppable counter, that it might work out. But I don't know. We're just gonna have to see.
I think the most annoying thing
Oh yeah, Void would be good.
in your planning is, like you said, like now you're gonna have to think between war and AQ. Like if you send someone on a path in AQ and then suddenly you're like, oh, now they need that champ in war.
Yeah. It would be nice if this landed during an off season, because like I think if we could do a full week using the perfect ideal counters,
Yeah.
then we would all have a sense of like who's a good substitute for the ideal counter, you know? But of course, it's like right in the middle of the season. There's probably going to be like a war attack on the same day too. It's stuff like this that makes me just want to like quit the game, because it's like so much responsibility. But I don't know. I think we got a good head start. And DLL gave me some feedback, which was good, so that I don't, send anyone to their death.
I definitely have so much respect for what you and DLL do, Taint as well. I think Caesar and Tafre help out sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I remember the Officer Days is pretty much what sent me towards either quitting or then the opportunity to join here came up. So it was like the state of the game just made it so unrewarding at times to add responsibility here to real life. So
Yeah, no, it's a lot. And I've been in and out of officership before. Like I've taken some pretty big breaks. I joined like a map 5 alliance for a while, which was a really nice time. It was kind of right around I had like a big move of house in real life, and I was like, I don't want to play the game and deal with this. But I'm back at it.
how many hits was that?
Oh yeah, and then Dexter brought up then attacker bans. So it's like there's going to be AQ, AW, and attacker bans. That'll be fun.
Oh, it's
Well,
Ava. Is
anyway,
that
dude,
you?
I think I'm actually gonna have to head out, bro. I got a little stuff to prepare before I go on a trip. So, um,
That's
thanks for
fair, man.
hanging, man. And
I can't believe some of these fights. I've picked two pretty long, long ones as well. An hour 20, and this is the second path.
yeah, no, that takes
I
a
may even
while.
end up splitting the stream up myself because I'm probably going to jump on later in the evening for an incursion stream. But yeah, thanks for
Cool.
jumping on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And good luck. Yeah, 285 hits. A fun time with Void.
Yeah, man, that was
Um,
so slow. Anyway, yeah,
yeah,
cheers, Campo. Take care. And yeah,
good
Ava as
stuff,
well,
man.
man.
Yeah, good luck, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, catch you in a bit, man. This Modoc is Flux Dispersal right back at it and pull. Which one is that, Sly? I'm not sure which Modoc you're talking about. Did they explain how attacker bans will work? Not entirely. I think Dex, like, I think they pretty much just said from season 31 it will come in. They didn't really say like how many attackers are going to be banned. I think most people have been like guessing 2 or 3 champs maybe would probably be where they start off with that. We're hoping for not more than 3 really, because otherwise it would get a bit rough. In AQ. Oh right, I must have missed that slide. Yeah, that does sound a bit rough. Yeah, every time you knock him down for Flux Dispersal, then he's debuff immune, and you've got pull. Good luck with that. Right, do I go spiderham or stealthy? And people still say AQ is fun. Yeah, TJ. AQ is a mixed one for me. I mean, like, obviously the rewards from it are so good, but yeah, it's just such a grind. Like, I don't enjoy it. It's just one of those ones you do for the sake of, like, getting the rewards. Right, I think. Take care, Slayer. Cheers for joining. I will probably call the stream after taking this boss down, to be honest. There's two paths have taken a lot longer than I expected, and I've noticed it's now like 3 p.m, so I should probably sign off to get some lunch after this. But yeah, I'll get this one down first. Oof. Had fun in map 5. Yeah, TJ, I think the lower maps certainly provide a lot of fun here and there. They were a bit different, but definitely as you go up to like map 7, even some of the maps in between, like I think 6 was a bit of a weird one. I don't know if they changed it at all, but yeah, it was definitely such a grind. So we'll have to see how map 8 turns out, I guess. But yeah, I will probably do a part 2 for this particular quest and come back to it at some point next week, I guess. I'm going to do a stream later today for my Incursions tournament run with Zillium, so I'll be back for that. But otherwise, I think I'll leave this one here for now, just because I should get some lunch in and then take care of some other stuff. But yeah, cheers to everyone who came out, and Campo as well again for being on call. But yeah, I think I'll end it here. And just say take care.